happy Monday morning to people who are on Monday. If you're not on Monday, then this message isn't meant for you. It's another week, starting another week. Weekend went by way too quick, as it always does. I saw a video yesterday of two planet Earths, one spinning like crazy Monday through Friday. Or no, Monday through Friday was the one's going slow. And then Saturday, Sunday was the one just going veep. Yeah, that's how it feels at the weekend sometimes. I know there's actually a logical reason for why the weekends feel like they're faster, and part of that is because there's less hours in the weekend if you only have 2 days off. Man, I don't miss not having 2 days off. I used to work a job where I only had 1 day off, and if you really think about it, when you work 12-hour days, you don't really get 1 day off. You kind of just get time to sleep. And then there's some people who have to work 7 days, so I don't know. I haven't had to work that much before, so I feel for y'all. The closest I've been, like I said, was 6 days a week, 12-hour days. I'm only feeling like I have to time for sleep. And I know people have it worse off than us, too, with those stipulations. Some people work more than 12 hours a day, and oh man, I respect the hell out of people who work like that. I don't miss those 12-hour days at all. So, gotta remember and be grateful and appreciative for what I got now. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to talk about that exact thing, the work week. We could attribute a lot to why we work 5-hour days to good old Henry Ford, who wanted people to be able to spend more money on his cars so they could buy his cars. Now we have the 5-day work week. So, to some degree, that's not the worst thing that could have happened, right? Like, we could still be working 20-hour a day, 7-day-a-week jobs, but that's part of progress, and sometimes it takes the wrong person to progress us. But we should still progress further. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, "Wow, we shouldn't be working 4 days a week, man. That's communism. 4 days a week, and you want to still get the same pay." And yeah, I think I would actually be happy myself working 4-day, 10-hour days. I know that's a lot of work in a day, but to get 3 days off, I can accomplish more on my days off. I think most jobs that are full-time, I think most jobs should be full-time, but that's a different argument for another time. I think I would be completely happy having 4 10-hour days, and I can say that because I worked 4 10-hour days before, and I quite enjoyed it. I quite liked having 3 days off because I was able to get things done. Because those days that you had off, one of those days is almost always going to line up on a weekday. And when you don't work weekends, when you work all day during the week, sometimes it's hard to go do stuff that's open during the weekday that doesn't open on the weekend. Like, is it cool that I get the weekends off? Yes, and I'm grateful for that. There's just certain things that I can't do unless I take a day off, or I get lucky, or say I go do it on my lunch break. For instance, I like thrifting. I think it's really fun to go thrifting and find stuff. Recently, I've been making a movie collection because I'm tired of physical media disappearing, so I've been trying to help with that a little bit. Just kind of starting with my personal favorite movies before I start rolling into stuff that I don't care for so much. I want to at least get the movies that I like first. I think I'm up to like 155 movies. But anyway, I like thrifting because I could find a lot of these movies, and I could get them for dirt cheap. So I can add to that collection. Instead of spending thousands and thousands of dollars, I can spend a couple bucks a movie. But not all the thrift shops that I go to are open when I get off work. And that's kind of like a, oh no, it is what it is kind of thing. Sometimes there's a couple in town that I want to go to, and I can't because I work during the day. So if I really want to go sometime, I kind of have to take a day off, and I'm not really going to take a day off just for a thrift store, But it is what it is. I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. Does it suck? Sure, but I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. Just be nice once in a while. So having that 410s would be great. I mean, getting to that 8th hour is hard. Do not get me wrong. Like, I don't think anyone should really state that, like, oh, boo-hoo, working an 8-hour shift is hard. Like, it is. It is hard. Especially when you're working some sort of patient or customer or, like, consumer-facing. If you're working that kind of job, getting through 8 hours is tough. It is work, after all. This isn't exactly like jumping on a trampoline all day. This is work. So getting to that 8th hour can be hard. So adding an extra 2 hours when it's already hard enough to get that at 8th hour can come with a lot of issues. Like, if you're already burnt out by that 8th hour normally, those extra 2 hours can be a lot of strain. And it is a lot of strain. I worked 410s. One of my jobs, working security, I worked 410s. Granted, I kind of requested that on my own, but after a while, I don't want to necessarily say you get used to it, because I don't believe it when people say they get used to work schedules and stuff. I feel like that's just a cop-out, and it's fine. It's fine to state that and make yourself feel good about the situation, so I won't brag you for it. But I don't believe it necessarily that people get used to their work schedules. I don't think people really want to work as hard as we do. I think that's why there's been such a push recently in the last, 10 years for less work. Now, I don't necessarily think that we shouldn't work at all. I personally, despite the way I look, I know I'm a little bigger. I don't think I could do no work. I don't think that would be possible for me. I like doing something, even if it was more so as a hobby and I was making some money. I just don't think I could not work. I don't know if that was just because I was raised with work ethic or if that's just my mentality. I get bored if I'm not doing anything, so I could not work, Now, if I had loads of money and loads of time and didn't have to work, I would be traveling all the time because I love traveling. I go on day trips all the time. So that's something I would do if I had loads of money, but I don't have loads of money, and I won't ever have loads of money no matter how much I work, because we have a class of humans who decide they want to hoard wealth. That's another topic for another time. But I'm all on board with figuring out the work week and making it easier and more morale boosting for the citizens of this country. All countries, but definitely this country, because, this is the one I live in. I care about our people even if I don't like them. There's definitely a lot of people in this country right now that I'm not very fond of, considering they still support an orange shit stain. But I still want what's best for all of us. That includes them. Because that's just how we should be as a nation, right? We should want what's best for everyone, not just for the few. And once you start losing sight of that, that's when you start becoming no better than the other guy. You can have your differences, you can disagree on a lot of things, but once we start stating that this person's worth more than this other person because this other person said XYZ, I mean, does there have to be a limit? Does there have to be nuance to that? Yes. It's not an argument I'm going to get into in this video. I'm just stating that we need to be careful about how we treat others. And it's like I said in my religion video, one of the coolest doctrines of the Catholic Church, or almost any culture and religion, is the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd want them to do unto you. I'm an atheist. I still think that saying is great. I still full-heartedly back that statement. I think if you treat people correctly, you're going to get that in spades. If people treat you correctly, you should treat them correctly. If they're not treating you correctly, it does you no good to treat them incorrectly. You know, like, just ignore them and move on if they're that bad. Like, there's a singer, right? I'm big into music, and one of the singers and parts of the scenes that I listen to, his name's Ronnie Radke. I don't personally like this dude. I think he's kind of... I'm not gonna say much, because if he even caught wind of what I was stating, he'd find a brigade and bring it down upon me, even though I'm a nobody to him. That's kind of what I mean about him. He's just a jerk. A big, giant baby jerk. And the way I look at people like him and Logan Paul and some other of these internet assholes, if you don't give them the attention they want, they don't get the publicity they want. I know it sounds ironic with me bringing Ronnie Radke up. It's just the best example I could use at the time, or think of at the time. He literally has a song called Popular Monster because he knows people hate him that much. People have a hate boner for him. Now, I try not to hate anyone. I definitely really do not like this man. I would not want to be alone with this man. But if you ignore them, they kind of go away. People like that thrive on the negative attention. They're the epitome of bad press is good press, you know? And just let them kind of fizzle out. Try not to let that get to you. I don't know why I went off on this tangent. I was talking about work weeks. But that can also apply to the work week. Because if you have a boss or somebody or a coworker or something that's just incredibly obtrusive to you, I know you can only avoid people so much at work, but if they're being that bad, then just, ignore them. Do your job. Keep your head down. Yeah, that's pretty much it.